there's nobody here. That's just the only disappointing thing.
They've captured that so well. It's a fundamental.
We've checked into the Fish tonight, a lovely hotel in Broadway in the Cotswolds, a lovely dog-friendly hotel in the Cotswolds. We are here to see how it feels to travel here with a dog, spend time here with a dog. Does bringing your dog degrade the experience at all? We are here just for one night. We are booked into the restaurant this evening. We did a lovely walk over to Broadway. I've just had the loveliest bath here. Kiwi's just having some dinner. We've done some things to settle in, make ourselves feel at home, and now we're just waiting for our dinner reservation at the Hook restaurant at 7:15. Dogs aren't allowed in the restaurant, but I'm so glad that you can still have the menu from the restaurant where you can sit with dogs. So when we're looking at this experience as a whole, from booking all the way through to checking out, the overall questions I want to answer from this stay are, would I recommend this to somebody saying they were coming to the Cotswolds with their dog? Would I be like, oh, you absolutely have to book there? I think that's always a good metric. That's always a good gauge. And then 2, would Kiwi and I come back and stay here? We're here to soak in the atmosphere and see how it feels to be here and try to get a feel on if there's any awkwardness with bringing your dog and if it in any way detracts from the experience being a guest. Let's have a look at the booking experience.
I want to start with the booking experience because this is what sets the tone for the whole stay. One thing I really appreciated straight away is how easy it is to find information about staying with dogs on the website. There's a dedicated dogs tab. It's clear, well written, and it immediately sets expectations, which honestly already puts them ahead of a lot of places. When you go to book a room, you can also see some early signals around dog friendliness. Certain room types are clearly marked as not dog friendly, and others say something like a few are dog friendly, so you can partially sense availability before you inquire. Where it becomes a little disjointed, in my opinion, is at the final step. You can't actually complete a booking with a dog online. You have to either call or email to confirm availability. That's not unusual, and I understand why some hotels do this, but it does immediately introduce a bit of friction. You're partway through what feels like a modern booking flow, and then suddenly you're taken out of it. That said, I emailed with quite last minute availability and the response was excellent. They were quick, friendly and really helpful. They proactively shared lots of useful information. They even offered to reserve me a table in the dog-friendly dining area, which immediately made me feel looked after. In practice, that human interaction absolutely salvages the friction point. But stepping back and looking at the experience as a whole, I would love to see a more seamless booking journey where I could book in the same way as any other guest, simply tick a box to say I'm traveling with a dog, or add the number of dogs just like adding in the number of children, confirm things like age requirements, and clearly see the relevant rules about where dogs are and aren't allowed. Because all that information already exists, it's just not quite integrated into the booking flow yet. And it seems like a small thing, but it really can make a difference to making you feel welcomed and making you feel fully considered.
When we arrived, it was too early to check in for the room. Check-in is from 3. I think we arrived at about 1 p.m. I just wanted to get a few shots of the hotel where there weren't so many people there, do a walk somewhere before we checked into the room. They were very welcoming, very nice to Kiwi. There was somewhere for Kiwi to toilet immediately as she got out of the car. So if you'd been on a long journey with your dog, immediately they could go on grass. They have bins, and it sounds like the bare minimum, but I promise you it is not in some places. There are has so many amenities for dogs. Lots of thoughtful touches, lots of things kind of built into the whole user experience of the hotel, which are brilliant. A place to wash Kiwi. The water wasn't warm, sadly. I know I'm literally asking for the earth here. Like asking for the water for the dog wash to be warm is asking for the earth. The fact that they have the dog wash and a basin to wash your dog, puppy shampoo, a boot wash, the towels for your dog, treats you can put in your pocket, take with you on the dog walk, maps for dog walks, poo bags, a whole basket of balls. The boot room has lots of wellies, so if you didn't bring your own wellies, you would still be able to do these lovely walks. In one of the hideaway huts. They have dog-friendly rooms in every category, or mostly every category, which I think is great. So if you're bringing your dog, it doesn't degrade the experience there. You could be in any room type that you want. I think it is quite limited. So there's like, they have one dog-friendly hideaway hut. Obviously must be this one, but it does have like a secured, it's like a gated outside part, and I think that must be why this is the dog-friendly one. I hope. Kiwi can go out for a wee out there. It is gravel and Kiwi's a bit fussy, but then there's grass right outside here. I've yet to check if there's a bin out there or other bins somewhere else. For the £30, I think it's per night per dog charge, which it's definitely on the upper end, but what they've given her is bed, like a nice quality bed as well. It's like a crushed velvet bed. They gave her a little foam toy towel for muddy paws, which I think is great. They provided nice bowls. Everything was clean, like completely fresh, and they gave her like a little dog treat as well. Kiwi has settled so well. I didn't know if this bed was going to be too small for her, but it's absolutely fine once she curls up. I'm just gonna do some editing now, let Kiwi have a nap, and then I'll take you with us for dinner. Dinner was brilliant. I was very impressed. Not a degraded experience at all as far as I could see. There were lower tables in the bar. We were sat at a proper table by the fire. Kiwi had a dog bed by the fire. We felt very welcomed. The vibe in the bar section where dogs were allowed was not too different at all from the restaurant was like, from what I could see. Food was excellent, like you can taste the quality, really good. Candle, they provided water immediately for Kiwi. Staff are lovely, relaxed. So yeah, I just thought that was great, actually. Very tired. It's been a long week this week, but what a lovely end to it. This is a really nice end to the week. We're gonna get into pajamas. You've got to see this. This is hilarious. She's been doing that for like a full 2 minutes. Impressed so far. We'll see how breakfast functions in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we will see you in the morning. This morning, Saturday morning. Kiwi has just gone to the toilet and I can't find a bin anywhere. This is the dog-friendly hideaway hut and there's a bucket for ashes outside. I can't find a bin. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. I walked around. There's a bin next to like the log store, a tin next to the log store. It's also not a bin. I've just had to leave it outside until I can find, I guess I'll have to walk it to the car park before breakfast. That's just the only disappointing thing because everything is like so thoughtful and so thought through, but something as basic as picking up after your dog, trying to keep everything clean and tidy and be courteous, like is an absolute must. But then if you don't know what to do with it, then I immediately feel rude because it's just sat outside the hideaway hut in a Tide bag and I don't want to look like I'm just leaving it there. It's been a lovely morning so far, just slow getting ready. Kiwi's been very excitable. I've made a nice little coffee, just taken some deep breaths out of these barn doors. The barn doors are honestly my favourite thing. Just been taking in the surroundings, the bird song. See how breakfast functions. Breakfast is a big component as well. They have said it's table service with some continental stuff as a buffet style, which might be a bit awkward with Kiwi if I want something from the continental. So I'll let you know how that functions with a dog, by yourself with a dog. So far, as I've said, everything's been spectacular. It's just the basics of having a poo bin. A poo bin for the dog-friendly hut. I don't know about anywhere else, so we'll have a wander and I'll let you know. For breakfast. Dogs are only allowed in this bar section, but there's nobody here, so I don't know if we just sit down or wait for someone or... Hi, morning. You alright? Very good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Did you sleep okay?
Yes, very well, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, really good. Okay, so...
Oh, thank you.
Sausage which I put on the table.
We were rescued by someone and they are being so lovely, so that's good. Kiwi's got some water and some sausages and a little bed. Yeah. Is that good? Just back from breakfast, we're packing up. Thankfully for Kiwi, we didn't have to bring too much because she has her bed and bowls and stuff. Normally where I would have to bring lots of different things for her, that was much easier. Kiwi. That was much easier because they provided most of the things and they told me in advance exactly what they provide for her, so I knew exactly what to pack and what to bring, which I found very helpful. Sometimes you just don't know what provided for dogs. Breakfast. So let's talk about breakfast because it was touch and go there for a minute. I was like, oh no, is this where the experience falls apart a little bit when you've bought your dog? Because they do a breakfast menu, table service menu. Like the continental section of the breakfast is laid out in the Hook restaurant. Kiwi is obviously not allowed in the restaurant and I didn't want to leave her at the table / couldn't leave her at the table. She would never wait there. I wouldn't tie her to a chair because she has dragged furniture before. So yeah, not very practical if you want anything from the continental. However, we arrived into the bar area and there was no one there, so we felt a little bit lost. We didn't know what to do and we were like, oh, this is maybe a little bit of a degraded experience because if you have a dog you can't even go into the main restaurant to tell anyone that you're there for breakfast. I did tell the reception staff and they just guided us to the bar area where we then waited somebody to acknowledge us. We waited a little bit lost and then somebody came and was very hospitable, came to greet us, got all the things for Kiwi, so she was immediately sorted. She had water, a bed, sausages, very accommodating, and I was very happy about that. And when I mentioned about not being able to go to get anything from the continental section of the breakfast, they said it was all on the menu anyway, so they could bring it if we wanted. That's useful to know if you come here with your dog, especially if you come here with your dog on your own. So no degraded experience there having your dog. Again, that room, it's not a downgrade. The interiors are still nice. It's still lovely actually. That fire in the middle. The service was still excellent as far as we experienced. Very peaceful for Kiwi. She settled very quickly. She really enjoyed her sausages. So yeah, breakfast
very, very happy with. I'm so glad it didn't fall apart. Only points of feedback so far: no dog waste bin anywhere near the hideaway hut. Real shame, because that was a bit awkward. Obviously Kiwi's gonna go to the toilet in the morning and last thing at night, so picking up after her was a bit awkward. I just had to leave it outside and then walk it all the way through to reception and then out to the car park to find the poo bin. That was the only awkwardness. And then the only other thing that even comes to mind, and this is so asking for the earth, because the fact they even have a dog washing station is ridiculous, but the water was so cold and Kiwi was already really cold from the walk, so she's reluctant to be washed anyway. If the water was warm, she would have been fine, but I wanted to obviously wash her and stuff before dinner. That could very well have been user error. There was some kind of dial, it didn't seem to do anything. But if you were to fill that basin with cold water and put your dog in it after a wet winter walk, be not so happy. To like crazy expectation, because the fact they have that in the first place is already head and shoulders above a lot of places. Lack of a dog waste bin around this property is the only place that the user experience fell apart. They've thought everything else through. Not having to carry a lot of stuff for your dog. They provide all the essentials. Towels for dogs are something that's so often missed by dog-friendly properties. It's crazy. The only tiny thing was the dog waste bin, and I hate to go on about it, but it's a fundamental. And I did ask at reception, it doesn't seem like there is one, so it's not just me missing it. So how dog friendly is the local area? If you are here for the first time and there's no sign outside the door about whether dogs are allowed or not, what happens if you just walk in? So that's the test that we're going to do. Of course, we're going to be very respectful. If somebody is like, please leave with your dog, of course we will be apologetic and leave. But what I want to test is this scenario where you've come away with your dog and you're on your own, so you don't have anybody else to go in ahead of you and check. So you've just got to, I don't know, assume dogs are allowed or assume dogs are not allowed. And when there's no signage, how are you supposed to know? So what we'll do is we will have a little wander through Broadway, have a look at what signage there is, how many of those signs we can see, and then we will pick a place to say, I don't know, we want coffee and pastries. We'll pick somewhere specifically where there is no sign. It is a bit of a point for how dog friendly the area is, because it does mean you can just assume your dog is allowed and walk in, but it also doesn't mean necessarily everywhere will be the same. And it is a test that we will be trying throughout this series, and whether you can just make an assumption that you can bring your dog in with you. I would hope it stands true in the Cotswolds, but I know it's not always going to be the case everywhere.
Peaceful Broadway is at this time. Yeah, this wisteria. All dogs welcome in the Edinburgh Woolen Mill. No dogs except guide dogs. Perfect, at least it's clear. Dogs sign on the door to show you this house, because it's absolutely beautiful. Bowls outside businesses. I love this tweed jacket. This chocolate company, by the way, is very, very good. You usually get Christmas drinking chocolate from this place. It's usually a good sign is the fact that there's a dog bowl outside. There is no signage though. Oh look, there's artwork the other side. How beautiful. Can Kiwi sit with me? Yeah, thank you so much. So that was the success. Managed to get inside and get a nice coffee and a pastry, which was lovely. It was all dog friendly, so that's good. There was no sign outside the door. I could take Kiwi in. They had dog treats. They were very accommodating, so that's perfect.
Answering the 2 questions we set out to answer is number 1, would I recommend this as a dog friendly place for people to come in the Cotswolds? 100% absolutely. It's got this feel of like quintessential Cotswolds Sunday afternoon, out for a muddy dog walk, and you come back in to cozy warm fires and relaxed and friendly service, glimpse into what Cotswold living is. And that's what I think this place has nailed. They've captured that so well. And would we come back here? Yes, we would. It'd be interesting to see other room types. So those are our 2 questions answered. Let me know what you thought, and if any of the atmosphere translates, I'll be so interested to know. Would you come here, especially if you would come alone? Like, where are my solo travelers? It might not seem like the bravest thing in the world, and I know there are so many brave things that people do every day, but it can feel so easy when you are on your own to just isolate, right? And not really partake in things because you think, oh, you know, when I'm with someone or when I have people around me, then we'll go off and do all these things that we want to do. We'll do all these adventures. But then you can just end up waiting and you're missing out on the experiences that you could be having now, and pushing yourself to go out and face all the awkwardness or the logistics of traveling on your own with your dog, or just traveling on your own in general, and holding your own and sorting it all out yourself and navigating every hurdle and obstacle and problem that arises, which it always does when you're traveling, when it doesn't go smoothly. It is brave. You don't have somebody to chat through things with when things go wrong and hold all the cognitive load for. I just want to say, if you're somebody who does that, who gets out and does that and participates anyway, despite being on your own and having all that worry of the hypothetical scenarios come up, good on you. Because I know how hard it is. And if you don't do that, but you would want to do that, I really hope you find some quiet courage in this video to do that, or some gentle encouragement, because so much out there to see and do. The memories that Kiwi and I have made mean everything to me, and I hope you can get out and start making some for yourself if that's something that you want to do, but it feels scary. Let's do it together. Share your adventures. Where do you want to go? Do you want me to go scout it out first? Because I'm more than happy to do that. Just because we go doesn't mean I don't feel scared and apprehensive every single time. Like, have I forgotten something? What if something goes wrong, and how will I handle it? And you just have to face everything as it comes, rather than all at once in your head beforehand.
That's it for this Cotswold installment, pilot episode of our series for finding the most dog-friendly area of the UK. Let me know what you want to see. If you have properties you want me to include, if you have locations you want me to include, drop them in the comments below. If you have had bad dog-friendly experience, I'd love to hear about it. Anecdotes or stories, I'd love to hear them. Similarly, if you've had positive ones, thanks for being here. Thanks for coming along with us. Please like and subscribe. It means more than you know. Yeah, we'll see you in the next installment.